Ranson's cross, and away, but not very far. Hutchison, oh, and it came off Bennett, I think. It would have been an own goal. Tommy Hutchison had the initial effort, but Martin Bennett miscued, and he was relieved to see the ball go past his own post. Number 6. That's also awkward. Oh, and Boyer arriving at the far post forced Statham and Mackenzie to cover up and concede a second corner. He was closest, Phil Boyer. Not such a good one this time. Brian Robson covering for Albion, and a chance for them to break now. Tommy Caton on his way back. John Wilde struggling a bit. Boyer heading on for power, and then Statham. Well, I thought that might have been a corner as well, but the referee says goal kick. Or else he's penalised Paul Power for a spot of pushing as he ran for the ball. That's more likely, I think. Here's Hutchison. Power's made a good run from the midfield into the inside right position. Here he is. Played across towards Phil Boyer for the head back, and Tommy Hutchison. Well, it's like the cup final all over again for a few seconds, or the first half of the first FA Cup final anyway, as the City fans celebrate a fine goal by Tommy Hutchison. But what a good knockback by Phil Boyer. Paul Power initially made a good run into the inside right channel. The ball fed across for Boyer. A beautiful knockback by him, and look at the aplomb with which Tommy Hutchison took that first time. That's a sign of his wide range of skills, and it's the first goal of the new season at Main Road after 15 minutes of this opening league match. Batson. Confusion again here. This is Paul Power with a chance. Good save by Tony Godden. Here's McDonald. O'Neill. Well, it may look there as though Power drove the ball straight at Godden, but in fairness to Tony Godden, he'd made the target pretty small. Here's Moses, looking for Mills. Nicky Reid came across, and somehow Mills got the wrong side of him, and that was awkward for Reid. And City can break here with 3 against 3 for the moment. That's a fine ball by Ray Ranson out to Kevin Reeves. Phil Boyer steaming through the centre. Here's Hutchison. Here's Tuart. Moses in the way. Hutchison won it back for City. Looks for support. Not much around at the moment. But how about that? To Ranson. And he gets a corner off Batson. Fluid play that by Manchester City. Tommy Hutchison again using the full width of the field. Kevin Reeves flicked that on, and Dennis Tuart came in and made it 2-0 to City. That's the near post corner that City worked so often last season. Tommy Hutchison curled the ball into the near post. Kevin Reeves with the back header, and Dennis Tuart knows how to finish those. So 2-0 to Manchester City, and the Albion defence caught out, and again Hutchison playing a significant part. Oh dear, that wasn't intended to be as bad as it looked by Paul Power, as he quickly acknowledged. Oh, a back header by Tommy Caton, and the referee blows for half-time, with Manchester City leading by 2 goals to 0, and Tommy Hutchison, the scorer of the first goal and the maker of the second, with Dennis Tuitt finishing it off, and the home side receive a generous ovation as they come in at half-time. The recently appointed Albion manager Ronnie Allen was saying before the match how disappointed he was that he couldn't start the season with his full-strength team, but he's also asking his side to change tactics rather this season, I fancy. Without Peter Barnes, who's gone to Leeds, they haven't got a natural wide man in this formation, and there were times in the first half where perhaps they were looking for one. Here's Lowry playing on the left now, having switched. Here's Robson. Switched in the first half, in fact. There goes John Dean. Batson. Moses. Dean. Oh, Mills has pulled away here, and Brian Robson will be unhappy that he couldn't have kept that down. But even more unhappy, I should imagine, the City defenders for allowing David Mills that sort of room. That at First Division level you don't often see. A striker in the penalty area given all that space, and he knocked it down well, and Robson, who prefers the ball on his left foot, blasted over with his right. O'Neill. McDonald. Tuitt up there, stay them away. Here comes Ranson. That's Hutchison. Tuitt. Oh, Reeves is in there. Not quite enough power on the ball to get it away from Tony Godden. Again, good simple football by Manchester City. Patient build-up. The ball well crossed, Dennis Tuitt involved, and Kevin Reeves with the downward header, which Godden, going to his right, dropped on thankfully. Offside against David Mills. And a substitution for Manchester City. Tommy Caton is the player coming off. No doubt got an injury, and the substitute is Tony Henry, a versatile player. And we shall see whether or not he goes straight into the back four in Caton's position. Here he is again. And so West Bromwich Albion now make their own substitution, with Tony Lowry coming off on his league debut.
And he'll be replaced by another 20-year-old, Nicky Cross, number 12, who had a couple of appearances as a sub at the end of last season and scored a fine goal against Spurs just before the cup final. This is Dean. Statham. Robson, Moses, Robson, Mills, Robson! Went down under a heap of tackles and has got a penalty. Well, a real chance now for Albion to get one back. Martin O'Neill was the player nearest to Brian Robson when he fell. But there was more than one City man in there. Robson had played the initial 1-2. It was a good move. One of the best of the match for Albion. O'Neill went to challenge, Robson stumbled, tumbled, went down, and referee Telford Mills instantly gave a penalty. So, David Mills entrusted with the kick. Gary Owen, not playing today, might have taken it. And Mills scores. Nicely put away. O'Neill looks very crestfallen, but Albion are back in the match. Joe Corrigan sent the wrong way by David Mills. In fairness to Albion, it was a very good build-up which led to that incident, and Robson might well have scored anyway. There are 5 minutes to go here at Main Road, and Manchester City lead West Bromwich Albion by 2-1. John Dean for Albion. Batson joins the attack, finds Henry in the way. The ball, I think, might have gone over the line for a corner on the ricochet. Or was there even a possibility of handball in there? Brendan Batson may have been appealing for rather more than a corner. But that's what referee Mills has given. John Weil gets up, and it's a miscue by Tommy Hutchison, which will give them another corner. So Weil stays forward. This is pulled back to Derek Statham to fire one. It struck Paul Powell. Was it on the arm? Now, what's he given the referee? An offside, is it? I think it's an offside against an Albion player. One or two of those in the Albion ranks, hopeful of a second penalty. And I must say, there's been a certain discomfort about the City defence when it's been put under pressure. Although one ought to say that they have been deprived of Tommy Caton in the second half. Offside. The fans thought that was the final whistle, but it's not. Some of them have come on the pitch, in fact, to celebrate a City victory, but they're premature. And they've been quietly escorted back off again by the efficient police force here. Well, that came off Tuart, and in goes Mills, and this is awkward. O'Neill's back in there, so is Reid. Tommy Hutchison. There's Weil. Well, 3 points for a win this season in the Football League, so 3 points to Manchester City. Brian Robson missed a good chance, but also earned a penalty in the second half as Albion came back, but it wasn't enough. And the first half performance good enough to ensure the points for Manchester City, who beat West Bromwich Albion by 2-1.